that. That.
Brandon, very subject to change, you haters. I love that.
Haters. I'm getting so much heat. Alright, I made a tweet.
I will
I
make
got
one.
the following.
Uh, and running
I actually can't. The
in.
lawnmower is like on my window.
Actually, I should change this to running in. I know. Without inviting any teams.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, let me do my tweet. Formally starting at the hour.
Formally. Formally.
Formally. This is just the
Mm-hmm.
pre-show.
The pre-show.
Wait, I need to copy the title from Twitch. So I can
Oh,
I
I don't
can
think
put it in the
Twitch title's
tweet.
updated.
Is
Hold
it
on, let me
not? It should be.
I gotta refresh. Which is like this. It's really hating on Twitch hours these days.
True.
Yeah, I see it now.
That's just a mouthful of a name.
No, it's functional.
It's a great name. I love it, but it's just wild.
It's necessary.
True. Also, this gives the opportunity for people to go, Raise, you're too loud, or Raise, you're too quiet, or JPEG is too loud.
I'm always too loud.
That's well,
Nah.
no.
Well, no.
No.
But yes.
No. I need to copy this link.
This is the part where you say who's loud and who's not loud.
At play.
Both of us need to be loud. That's how it works.
Yeah, because that's how that works, right? The loudest people have the most correct opinions.
Yes.
I think that's how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, it is. That's one better than you.
Well, whatever you say. Why did I just type my own name in there? Oh, that's why.
So, did you change your Twitch password? If you're about to say no, don't say it now.
Oh no, I've done that. I've had two-factor authentication on for like years.
Yeah, so did I, right?
Like,
Yeah.
also when I went to
did.
change my password, it was like 10 characters or something, and it's like, no, you need more characters. Like, why do I need more characters?
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
When I changed mine, like as soon as I was done changing it, it gave me a pop-up saying to change my password.
Same.
Like, I don't know, man. I think the internet's just falling apart lately.
True. That's just true.
That's fine. It's inevitable. Good thing testing grounds is gone.
Oh,
that
true.
seems to just break everything.
True. Actually, no. We needed to keep testing grounds alive because that's what was keeping this from happening like a year sooner. So, like, if it wasn't for testing grounds just absorbing all of the negative energy of the internet, the internet would have just exploded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why testing grounds got all the heat.
It was so cursed. Testing
Every
grounds was just
time.
always cursed.
Then Super Jump replaced it. Yeah, why'd we make Super Jump technically the follow-up?
That's such a oh god, why did we?
The spiritual successor. Yeah, that's why it that's why it crashed Smash GG.
That was such an oversight on our part.
Which is not that good.
We just need to go back to TO school.
Have I met PNG? I'm not even gonna like pretend. I get this joke every week, dude.
Oh, I imagine it's very not funny.
Yeah.
Do
I
not
think
let
I think the lawnmower's gone. We're gonna see.
the lawnmower is gone.
I
Crap
just want to
wave.
mention the second, like the minute we were about to go live, some dude started lawn mowing outside my window.
It was hilarious. Like
Oh my
it
god.
was so funny because just it was fine. It was perfectly quiet, and then like JPEG goes, "All right, hit the live. We'll do a pre-show," and burn,
Right outside my window.
just right there, just right outside the window, and it was honestly it was perfect. Like
There was
the
an
comedic
actual
timing, like simply could not have been better.
no, there was actually like a period of like 3 days straight where they're like chainsawing tree branches outside my window from 7 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I just could not sleep that week. I don't know. My property management's not like very respectful of that. I finally get away from roommates, and then then this starts happening. There will always be a noise ruining everything.
True. Also, Lily, no.
No,
No.
that's too similar to one of our competitors.
True. You know what? It is.
It is.
So no. So this just in, hot off the press, Lily no longer doing IPL streams.
Wow. Yikes. That's a shame.
A truly good commentator was lost this day.
We can't really quit longer. We're not associated.
True.
This is our own opinion.
We cannot be held responsible for anything we say on this podcast. I killed TV. I can kill you too. Honestly,
Probably.
probably. Truth behind learn more at 10. Exactly. This is the expose on IPL. That's what this
Expose.
podcast is now.
It's gonna be. It's gonna turn into that.
I just realized I didn't check some of the numbers I wanted to for Super Jump. Because I really wanted to talk about the. I can do it right now. I can do it in 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, I can
Quick.
tell you one thing. I'm going to accidentally leak something. This
Oh,
podcast.
100%.
It's going to
100%
happen.
we're going to say something at some
I'm
point
gonna
in
say
time.
something, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, anyways."
That's not public. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
Good thing it's our own opinion.
yeah, good thing it's our opinion, and nothing here is endorsed by IPL. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not me counting out loud.
1 minute. Don't count. I'm gonna keep Twitter open, and I'm gonna have a fresh feed of stuff to talk about.
I just did the
Which is
count,
fine.
and it was so much worse than I hoped for.
What's the? Oh, the yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the yeah. Well, we'll get that. We'll get there when we get
I
there.
can't wait to talk about that. That's gonna make my night. Actually, can I just like slide that to the top,
Slide to the
just
top.
casually?
Yeah. Oop, it's time.
Does that mean it's time for us to do an intro?
All right, who? This is episode 0. Who do we start? Who starts? I'm starting.
Yeah.
Hi.
You start. Do the disclaimer.
The disclaimer. Hi, we are making a podcast. We are also IPL head TOs. But this is not an IPL podcast. These are our own opinions. We're going to say some hot takes. Don't let the hot takes represent the org, because IPL runs as a team. This is a really wordy intro, but like I have to say it like this.
IPL is a corporation. Well, it's a business. It's a team.
Business. It's a
So,
team.
the business cannot take an official stance unless everyone in the business agrees on it. Me and JPEG are not the entire team. Therefore, anything we say cannot be brought back to IPL as an official statement, because while we do work for IPL, our opinions are not the same as the conglomerate of IPL.
The conglomerate.
It's a fun word to say.
It is.
Like, it's just a fun word to say. All right, so what do we want to get started with?
I guess we should explain like why this is a thing, like why this podcast is happening.
Sure.
I guess I'll give my take.
Go for it.
I'll give I could sum this up in like 1 minute, but I'm gonna give like the whole story. Is that me and Ray's like TO a lot, and the TO voice chat always turns into like some discussion on the Splatoon community that goes on for like 2 hours after the tournaments ended until like 3 a.m. So I thought like, well, that happened. What were we doing? It was after a meeting.
It was well. So the most recent time was after, working on the new thing.
Yeah, we were working on the new thing, and then we just stayed in voice chat, and we were like, let's make a podcast.
Yeah, we
just kept talking about stuff, and I was like, oh my god, we could like actually make a podcast out of this.
So basically, yeah, how this just came into being is 2 days ago we were like, hey, let's make a podcast. Then yesterday, JPEG's like, so when do we want to do this podcast? And now we're doing a podcast.
Now we're doing a podcast.
Fun fact, the background image that you see on screen was made by JPEG like 20 minutes ago. Because we were just like, what are we going to put on screen? Because it was either that or a Google Doc with talking points. And I'm going to be honest, I like the background image better. So thank JPEG for that. He's the real carry here. I just talk.
I'm getting all the heat for the branding too. Guys, I'm learning Inkscape. Like,
also,
be
the
proud
branding,
of me.
It's not final. If we do another one of these, it'll change. We might get a less wordy name, but like honestly, I kind of like the not affiliated with IPL and our opinions are our own podcast. That's kind of funny to me. It's pretty humorous. Like K-Bot, if you're here, you might not like it, but honestly, yeah, it's funny.
It's everything I happen to do, so that's fine.
It's fine.
Let's get into the meat of things.
All right, cool. Which hot take do we want to drop first? I feel like we should probably start slow and start with Super Jump, and then we can move into the hot take.
Yeah, drop something like spicy. Do it.
All right. Well, first things, let's just do a general overview of Super Jump. So, a bunch of you probably heard Super Jump happened. What? I guess 2 weeks ago now.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't keep track of time. Time's imaginary.
We're just under 2 weeks out.
Yeah. So, that was where we gave away $3,000 to the general community and said, have fun, guys, and got 150 teams signed up for. Which, by the way, I personally wasn't prepared for that. The amount of support you guys showed for Super Jump was fucking nuts. And I, honestly, highlight of any tournament I've ever run. Ever. That I even planned. One thing I will say is that the week leading up to Super Jump, I probably spent, at least 4 hours every single day in a VC with, Vincent, Smile, and other assorted TOs from the Super Jump staff. So much time went into that event. I'm glad everyone seemed to enjoy it. Also, I'm glad people enjoyed the map list because I made that. Or the map pool, rather.
Actually, I saw it happen in the TO chat. Kind of broke me a little because it always breaks me. Some TOs were arguing about the map list, but the player base in general was actually quite alright with it, which is surprising because people always argue about map lists.
Well, yeah, so I personally, whenever it comes to making map pools, for me, it's one of those, I'm not looking to make a spicy map list. Very few players actually want a spicy map list. They don't. They want a map that will allow them to express themselves as players and as individuals in a fair and balanced environment. That's not a spicy map pool. Map pools generally prevent that. Yeah. So whenever it comes to me for making map pools, it's always a question of what can I still play and have people enjoy while still having some variety. Honestly, probably the map that I saw get the most heat was Skipper Pavilion. And that the only reason is Skipper Pavilion is just a very polarizing map in general due to how it's designed. But I personally, like, I've looked a bunch at the map and I've broken it down, like, as an analyst a bunch. And I actually don't think it's that bad to play on. So that's one of the things where if I want variety, I will almost always go for a Skipper Pavilion over like a Camp Triggerfish.
Yeah.
Just because it's closer to what people actually play a lot of the time, and it's also, if you're brand new to the game, it's not as difficult to wrap your head around as something like a Triggerfish is.
Mm-hmm.
So, the interesting thing for Super Jump for me, one of the big takeaways is, and this was the number that I counted before the stream, 9 of the top 16 teams in the alpha bracket of Super Jump were pickups. 9 of 16. Over 50% of the top 16 placing teams in Super Jump were pickups. And that makes me incredibly sad. Because, oh my word, these people exist around. Like, the only 2 exceptions to this, I counted them in the count because they placed in the top 16, were Canes in Free Time. Those were 2 Japanese teams. One was made by Jelly and one was made by Terra. So if we wanted to remove them from the count, we would be at exactly 15%. 7 of the top 14 teams were pickups.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be too surprised about that, because I mean, we're in like late stage Splatoon 2 and majors aren't happening super often. All things considered, we had a pretty good year in terms of majors, but like nothing is really making top level or mid level stick around as much as they used to. So you shouldn't be surprised, but like still, I don't know. It would be cool to see these teams play a little more in general. And I don't know. The reason I like low level so much is that all these teams stick around and you get to follow them. I like following teams more than players. It's a lot easier just seeing like a group of people grow together. So keeping track of like all the individual players and who's playing where and like pickups is kind of confusing to me. I guess I'm not really trying because I am very invested in low level, but when it comes to like Super Jump, just seeing all like the pickups, I'm not invested in their success as much as a team.
Well, yeah. So talking from a seeding perspective, so the main people who seeded Super Jump were myself, Smile, and Roundy. And then we also had, I think, we had a Grace help with the lower level teams. I feel like I'm still forgetting more people. I feel like more than 4 people did it, and I feel extremely bad. But it took, like, me and Smile were in debates for like the top like 32 seeds for a solid 2 hours, if not more. Because looking at all these pickups, it's basically impossible to compare their skill level, because even if we know they're mechanically great players, the super challenging thing about seeding pickups compared to seeding teams is it really comes down to a coin flip. Because if we flip that coin and the pickup works really well together and it makes sense, then they're going to annihilate some teams, because some teams aren't ready to like just get upset by a pickup. But then on the other side of that coin, if they don't work together, if everything just falls apart, they go out in round of 64 and we get laughed at. And like there's that line that you have to walk where it's, do I put this pickup above these consistent teams, or do I just put the teams in the high seed and then wait for the flame on Twitter after when the pickup upsets one of them? Because that's genuinely something we have to plan for. Is we plan for what things to get flamed for on Twitter, what decisions have to be made that people aren't going to like, and we have to prepare ourselves for that. Because that was especially when prize pool was a hot topic when we were TOing Super Jump. That's one of the things where I drew that line in the sand and said, I am okay if Twitter doesn't complain about anything else. If they only complain about Beta and Gamma getting prizes, I'm okay with that. Because I think these teams in Beta and Gamma, I think it just makes sense to give them a prize. Like, looking at other esports,
like tier 2 games of like Overwatch, League of Legends, like, and I'm sure other games do it too. They give money to their 2 tier and tier 3, tier 2 and tier 3 teams. I don't ask me why it was so hard for me to say that. So why shouldn't we do it? Like, all that blowback on Twitter, what it really told me is it really just made me, it sucked away some of the fun of running an event as large as Super Jump, because what it showed me is it felt like people lacked the perspective to understand what should, or what to me was a relatively simple decision. Because when we were getting absolutely reamed on Twitter for it, it was like 11% of our total prize pool. And then after we got another $500 that went straight to top bracket, it probably made up, well, it definitely made up less than 10% of our prize pool. So as a community, I don't understand why people were so up in arms about giving the beta and gamma bracket less than 10% of the prize pool. It basically broke down to each player got $25 from the winning teams of beta and gamma, and then the second place team each got $5. And that was if it was a team of 4. If it's larger than a team of 4, that number goes down. So I don't understand why we're picking the battle, like specifically for Super Jump. I don't understand why we were picking the battle of why doesn't Kings, the Japanese team that entered, why don't we just give them more money? Because, and that was also something else that I considered personally when I was talking about prize pool distribution, is I know that an event of the magnitude that we were trying to get Super Jump for and that it achieved was going to get at least a couple international teams. Now, obviously, we got European teams and we tried to accommodate for those, and the teams who we weren't like initially planning on getting, like Kings, like Free Time, they showed up and we have to accommodate for them.
So, looking at the prize breakdown on Smash GG, Kings walked away with almost $1,000.
Why do I need to make that more? Why do I need to take that $150 or why do I need to take that like $20 from those players in beta and gamma and then give them to Kings? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think what most people are arguing about is that like not all of top 8 got a prize, which is kind of understandable, but you gotta consider the fact that, I mean, despite our huge prize pool, we couldn't distribute it in a meaningful way throughout the entire top cut and then the lower brackets. It just wouldn't be that much money. So I think, and you gotta consider like tournaments like Low Inc, which were skipped during Super Jump, do have prize pools. No one really thinks about it, but I mean, yes, Low Inc, the skill capped tournament, has a prize pool. So this isn't like, I don't know, maybe I'm comparing apples to oranges here, but it's like the same thing. I mean, a skill cap tournament getting the prize pool and the lower brackets getting the prize pool. I think, I don't know. I'm drawing like a comparison to those two, but I don't really know where I'm going with that. So
Also, another thing that I saw a lot on Twitter that was people like, well, they're just gonna smurf and throw, and it's like, we can also like sanity check these brackets. Like, 2 plus 2 does not equal 5, and if somewhere along the way it does equal 5, we know we've made a mistake.
right. And another thing,
sorry, go.
yeah, one thing I think about with that is kind of the community aspect. I don't think anyone wants to be that team. And I'm going to bring up the Nintendo tournament with that. You kind of do something wrong. I think you all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You kind of do something you shouldn't, and everyone's kind of on you. I don't think anyone wants to be that team. Now, it doesn't totally stop people from doing it, but as far as I know, no one actually sandbagged. There was a team that we kind of were looking at, but they actually were genuinely disappointed with the result and clearly didn't really want the result they got. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna count them. So
Like, and it's just one of those decisions where I really want teams to trust organizers,
right.
because that baseline of trust is the reason why you enter in our events. Because when you enter in our events, you're saying, I trust you to provide a good quality event. Granted, Super Jump fell short in a couple places. I acknowledge that, and we're working on getting better in those places. So if we ever run a Super Jump again in the future, that it will be better. But I also feel like of any of the things to nitpick, the prize pool distribution shouldn't be one of them. Because that's one of the things at the end of the day, for me, is one of the easiest things to change.
Right.
Like, that doesn't require a lot of planning. Because until a week, 2 weeks after the time of the tournament, we still haven't distributed that prize. Like, we have distributed for Super Jump. Let me make that abundantly clear. Or at least IPL has paid out.
I think, we've at least reached out to everyone. We're in communication. I think there's still like one more team that we're working with.
Is there? Okay.
But regardless, like we're working on it on like another tournament.
You know, let's just transition into that since
Are we
said a
just
couple
skip
things
into
about
that?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to, before we move on, I want to address one more thing. Lily, I don't know if you were joking or not, but saying pay the TOs. I don't think well, maybe you do, but like we have a lot of people in IPL. And paying people is just a very slippery slope. We have a lot of people to pay if we'd have to.
Also, I think Vincent was planning on
it's
doing
a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that Vincent was planning on doing a write-up for how much Super Jump would have cost if we paid staff minimum wage. I think he planned on doing one of those for sometime in December.
Yeah.
If not, I think I did my own like conservative like none of the like just paying staff day of for their time, and it came out to almost as much as the prize pool itself. And that's
not even considering
Southern $7 minimum wage.
That's not even
That's
considering
not, like,
the 3 weeks I took on making the trailer and the like 2 months on the other social media Riptide trailer that I made.
Yeah,
Which
like,
I had fun making. I want to make that very clear. I had fun making those. I enjoyed it, and I don't really want to be paid. So, and the thing is, there's just like legal troubles with like giving staff like $50 and stuff. So, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable like going into the details of this personally, even though this isn't like an affiliated IPL podcast.
As much as I would love to talk about that, yeah, I agree. There is some legal stuff there that I personally don't understand, so I would rather not talk about unless I do understand.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the best way to put it. But let's transition into Nintendo. Oh, I'm gonna drop their name. That's the fun part.
That is the fun part.
So, Nintendo recently announced that they were going to do an invitational tournament and based on the tweet, it was assumed that the teams who were going to be competing were the teams who won the 4 tournaments that Nintendo held back in July. But the problem with that is all of the teams, I think 3 of the teams who won went and said publicly that they hadn't been invited to anything. So, to follow up on that, none of the teams who were promised prizes 4 months ago have received those prizes. Now, the reason I know this is because Azur got 4th in the Turf War Open, so I am privy to this process. As a matter of fact, I've been going around chasing tails all day trying to figure out how to get my prize, because the deadline for getting back your form is October 8th. So if people who don't have the form don't receive it and get it back in 2 days, then they're not going to get a prize. But fun fact, the fact that we haven't received it and it's 4 months later 4 months later, and now Nintendo is setting an arbitrary deadline, or what seems to be arbitrary. It just doesn't feel great, especially when you haven't had the form, because they sent out an email about a week ago saying the form is coming, guys. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
And then
We're worrying.
and now we're 2 days off the deadline. I haven't received my form. I know of at least 3 other people who haven't received the form. And like Chara is saying, he personally had to message staff from the tournament to get us the information that we need to receive forms. And even then, only a handful of people received forms. And this still doesn't solve the idea, or solve the problem, rather, of this invitational that they're supposedly running, where nobody's been invited, as far as we're aware. How does Nintendo plan on running an invitational tournament without any teams?
Yeah, at least with something like High Inc. last year. I'm only bringing that up because it's the only invitational IPL's run. But at least we contacted teams before we even announced the event. Like, if we couldn't get teams, like, no, we're not announcing it. It just makes sense that way, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what are they doing?
Well, like, and in my head, what's going on here is, like, they had this plan from the beginning, and then what happens is, like, a week after the tournament, like, they go to the intern and say, send out the prize forms, and the intern goes, thumbs up, you got it, boss. And then they get fired, like, the next day or something, so it just got completely lost or something. And then the tweet goes out, it's like, hey guys, this invitational's happening. And then all of the teams are like, what do you mean this invitational's happening? We weren't invited. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you weren't invited? You were supposed to have gotten that, like, 2 months ago. Wait, we fired Randy. We fired the intern who was supposed to invite them. God damn it. Like, in my head, that's the headcanon. That's how it goes in my head. Is that probably how it worked? No, probably not. But that's the humorous way for it.
Yeah.
And
that's
also,
the best case scenario.
Yeah, that's like the best case thing.
Worst case, Nintendo's actually malicious and is like doing something. I don't know. I'm making up a conspiracy theory now. Stay woke, everyone.
So, and that's also skirting around the fact that one of the teams they would have had to invite for the tournament had at least 2 people who were on 2 separate teams, which goes expressly against the rules that they themselves published. Because as far as the community at large is aware, no action has been taken against that team. As a matter of fact, I've heard, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but I've heard that players from both teams who had the altars on it received information on how to receive their prize. Which, if that's the case, is a gross oversight in the organization of this event. From Nintendo's point of view. Or from Nintendo. Because if you're going to publish rules, you need to enforce them. That's like the first rule of TOing. That's one of the things where it's like, when I write a rule document, I fully expect to enforce every rule in that document. And if there's something in that document I wouldn't enforce, I remove it from the document. So what's the deal, Nintendo? What's going on here?
Yeah. The biggest rule I have to enforce with something like Low Ink is people's IGNs not matching, which is, I'm not going to go into that topic. That's just something Low Ink's always done. It's not because of a hot topic or anything. People get like really mad at me for like banning people for that, but like, follow the rules. You should be happy we're like enforcing the rules after stuff like this.
So, yeah. Like, the Nintendo tournament is just a whirlwind of what the fuck is going on. And what really frustrates me about this entire situation is it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo. Like, they're like a humongous company. Could they not have 5 people responsible? Like, even 5 people would be more than enough where their sole responsibility is just making sure this happened. Like even a single person.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, whatever esports department Nintendo has, it's busy trying to figure out whatever the fuck's going on with Play Versus. Because I saw a screenshot of one of their streams that was Splatoon related. It was just, ugh, it was rough. It was really rough.
Yeah.
Um,
Something. I mean, everyone's of course like thinking about how there's a team that broke the rules that might get invited, but something like what I see out of this is like look at the bigger picture. Like why, why is Nintendo running an invitational? Like, did they see the Squid House and they're like, yeah, people like that because it was a 4 top team invitational? No, Nintendo people. If that's the case, Nintendo people watched that because it was a big middle finger to you canceling the stream. Um, so like I just this is like way too close to the Squid House. Like, why are they running an invitational in the first place? Like, what's up with this?
so what I think it is I think it's a marketing move for Splatoon 3. So I think whatever they're gonna do, if they did this invitational, they would do the 14 bracket, right? And then after finals, after they've drummed up hype, after they've got all their viewership, they drop a trailer. And they drum up more hype. They announce more Splatoon 3 news. Like, I think that's probably what this is. I think it's a marketing move. Because realistically, I don't think Nintendo respects competition yet. I don't think they fully understand how useful competitive is, for getting and maintaining players. So what I think it is I think it's a marketing tool. Because that's how they've really approached competitive Splatoon, which is valid, and that's really what it is. That's what a lot of esports is. A lot of esports is marketing. Because Nintendo's business model is sell the game, and that's it. Once they sell the game, they've made their money.
Right.
So this isn't a game like League of Legends or Overwatch or something like that where they have a loot box model and that's how they make the primary amount of their money, so they want to keep players involved. And that's probably a good thing because that keeps microtransactions out of Splatoon. It makes it easier to compete in. The downside of that being is that Nintendo will look to sell copies and that's it. Once they've, sell you a copy, that's it, you're done. You're a number now, you're a statistic.
Mm-hmm. One thing I think about, if you want to go like the marketing move, like one of the most iconic things Nintendo's done is the World Champions. Like, I feel like they could have brought that back instead of making this like NA only, like 4-person champion. Which, have we even heard anything more about it aside from that like initial tweet?
I don't believe so. I think
No, I don't think we've heard anything about this.
all I recall seeing was that original tweet.
Who knows? I haven't seen anything personally. If there is anything, please let us know. Otherwise, we're just gonna spread misinfo, and that sucks.
Yeah, we don't want to do that because we're just supposed to be spreading our opinion that nobody asked for.
Yep. I don't know. There's just a lot of questions that aren't getting answered yet. Hopefully yet. So we're just not giving out prizes either.
Yeah, well, that's really the most concerning thing from my perspective, is because if Nintendo doesn't follow through on these prizes, what can happen very, very easily is the Splatoon community will become very jaded very fast. And I think us burning that bridge between the Splatoon community at large and Nintendo, that's a very key bridge we need to keep intact. But if Nintendo continue to avoid paying out their prizes or don't fulfill the prizes at all, then that can very quickly, very, very quickly, turn into a bad reputation for Nintendo, which is what I hope, they're trying to avoid at all costs.
I think Nintendo likes Splatoon. Looking at Smash Bros, not so much. I mean, you compare like something like the Melee community to how Nintendo treats the Splatoon community. Like, they clearly want to be with the Splatoon esports scene. So I'm just not sure like what they're doing. I mean, guys, you gotta pay, you gotta give out prizes, and you gotta like, I don't know. What it comes down to is just giving out prizes. That's kind of the hot topic right now. And there's a lot of stuff I could like unfold with Nintendo and esports, especially with the Smash community. But like, I don't really want to get into that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Nintendo, if you're listening, which you're not, just give out your prizes. It's not that hard. Like, we just did it. Like, it's really easy actually. So, let's. Do I get to move on to the fun hot topic?
I thought this was the fun hot topic. Everything's a fun hot topic here.
Oh no! I'm talking about the one at the top of the dock.
Top of the dock. Oh, that's a pretty hot topic. Let's talk.
That's very hot.
Pretty hot topic.
So
not
to
the
transition
store. We're not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored by Hot Topic.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
You underestimate.
So something true. Something we talked about regarding Nintendo tournaments we think is for marketing. Now, tying that into this, viewers are drastically undervalued in Splatoon. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's it. That's a fact.
That's it.
So, to elaborate on this a little bit more, there was, and something to tie into something JPEG said about Low Inc, is that they really enforce the name rules. Granted, that's for a different reason. Low Inc enforces those rules to make sure there's no smurfing. Excuse me. But for the Splatoon community at large, the reason that shut the fuck up, K-Bot. The reason that those names are really important is to attract viewers to brands and stories. I've personally have never commentated, but I've talked to quite a few commentators before. It's almost impossible to commentate a game of Splatoon 2 when you don't know who 6 of the 8 players in the lobby are. And it's even harder to follow that as a viewer. And without a viewer base, what do we offer as an esport to anyone? Right. The reason Chara has gotten sponsored on so many teams, in my opinion, is because he's had a YouTube following. I think that's the reason Hive sponsored Deep Blues, is because Taylor streamed regularly and got viewers, Prod streamed regularly and got viewers, Power streamed regularly and got viewers. Why do you think Team Olive got signed by Ghost Gaming? Because they had Dude. Not because they were the best. It helped, but that wasn't the only reason. Viewers are the lifeblood of any competitive community, and we as a community need to understand that, and it frustrates me so much when every single day when I see players going, here's my name on Twitter. I'm Lil Timmy on Twitter. Awesome. Perfect. And then they go play in a tournament as Frankie. What? How are they supposed to know that Lil Timmy and Frankie is the same person? How are they supposed to follow you? How are you going to grow that network? How are you going to get that following so you can get a sponsor? So you can actually turn this hobby into something. Now, if you don't want to turn this hobby into something, that's great. That's perfect. That's your prerogative. But why are we ridiculing the people who are trying to grow the community by keeping their name the same, by advocating for viewers? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what, as a TO, that's what I'm trying to provide. I'm trying to provide a viewership experience and market things. I'm trying to market a product, which is, in this case, is Splatoon. I'm trying to market the commentators, the players, the game. I cannot do that when the thing I'm trying to market is driving away my viewers. Also, it makes it so insanely hard for the commentators to do what they do. Like, Lily and K-Bot and Rissa and Ninja, they're some of the best. But they can only do so much when they're given XX Dr. Fart XX. They can't do that much with that name. But when it's Shaq and Kyo and Bursty, that's something to work with, because they have a reputation. They have things that they can pull on. They have a history. They have a past that those commentators can use to create narratives. Then those narratives can be used to captivate viewers, and those viewers are are going to make Splatoon into a larger game. Because what's the largest difference between an Overwatch League broadcast and a Splatoon 2 broadcast?
One makes money.
Exactly. Why does Overwatch make money? Because they have sponsors. Why do they have sponsors? Because they have viewers. Viewers are the core of any community. Like how O2ers are the core of the Smash community. If you don't have O2ers, you can't have top players. Because those top players will have nobody to O2. They will have nobody to beat. So when I say this, and I'm going to say this, and I want everyone to understand what I'm saying, viewers to me as a TO are as important, if not more important, than the teams competing. So earlier in the stream, I gave a little statistic. 9 out of the top 16 teams in Super Jump were pickups. How many of those pickups had narratives surrounding them? Probably 0. Because they are ridiculously challenging to commentate unless they're a team with notable players. So, what's the point to this then? Well, we can either figure out how to make our viewer experience better, or we can brand ourselves. Because if you as players, or even viewers, decide to watch a lot of competitive Splatoon, then you'll know everyone, right? But if you've never come to a Splatoon broadcast before, you'll have 0 idea what's going on. You might not have even played X rank before, or played in rank in general. Because a lot of the Splatoon players are casual, they mainly play Turf War. So why are we making it more challenging for these people who we desperately want to watch us? Why are we making it more challenging for them? That doesn't make sense.
Something...
Go.
Yeah. Well, when you bring up branding, I'm gonna talk about Lowing for a bit. Ooh, JPEG's talk about Lowing. Big surprise. Something Lowing's really good at is branding, because you got low level Splatoon, which has probably the strongest formation of teams in the community right now. You got Low Inc., which is the most iconic tournament in low level, maybe even the community. I'm not gonna go that far because I'm very biased. And I would say probably one of the most iconic casters, at least in low level. I'm sounding like a broken record here. What I'm getting at here is like Low Inc. has like this harmonic trio between teams, casters, and viewers. Because every grand finals of Low Inc., or at least most of them, we have Popgun on, at least Popgun, and someone else. And what Popgun's good at is telling a story with these teams. He kind of gives a brief overview of where these teams have been and how far they've grown in like the past couple months. And the viewer understands it, and the teams are there, they're playing, and they have a cool story behind them because they're not just like a pickup. And I think that trio kind of makes for amazing branding, which is why I think Loink has such a successful stream every month. I think every tournament organizer should, or I think every caster and team should like strive for that kind of thing, kind of make a story out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, and for the players in chat who are like, why should I care? Why should I care? I'm never gonna grow large enough to get a sponsor. I'm not gonna get good enough to win a tournament. Why should I care? And even for you high level players, I as a TO don't want to waste my time. As a person, I don't want to waste my time. So, if I cannot grow the community by organizing for top level play because they don't understand what they actually need to do to grow, then I will go to low level or mid level, where there are teams to work with, where I can give people a platform to grow and care. So there's this analogy that I use a lot when I'm talking internally with TOs. There are 3 things that I think a community need to grow. They need an audience, they need a platform, and they need someone to put on it. Because if you have an audience, and generally you need 2 of these 3 things to be successful. The reason is, if you have someone who wants to say something, and you have an audience who wants to listen, a platform will get made for them. If you have a platform, and you have an audience who wants to listen to something, someone will walk up onto stage and say something. And if you have a platform to stand on and a compelling message to tell, then eventually an audience will show up. As long as you have 2 of these 3 things, in my opinion, it's possible to grow and be successful. The problem right now is Splatoon, we're still trying to figure out how we want to accomplish these goals and how we want to find our platform or our audience and find the people we want to put on those platforms. But to tie this back into TOing, for me, for IPL, in my opinion, IPL, we have an audience and we have a platform. So I can put someone on stage. I can put Wiggly Phantoms versus Destiny Troops on stream.
Oh, not a good match.
Well, I just pulled the team out.
Yep.
Sorry, Pop.
Just saying.
I can put them on stream, and people go, oh, look, it's Wiggly Phantoms and Destiny Troops. And they'll want to watch that game because they know the teams who are playing. And they'll have a connection to those teams. But when I'm watching Pickup 1 plus Pickup 2, no one's going to want to watch that because they don't know anything. They don't know anyone involved. Which makes it extremely hard for myself as a tournament organizer to care about the people who play in those pickups. So the biggest thing to high-level players, if any of you are listening, make teams. You don't even have to play with them. They just have to exist. Because if I know top-level teams exist, then I am more likely to organize a tournament for you. I'm more likely to want to organize a super jump if I know that I have people to play it in. Or KBot is more likely to make a tassel if there are teams around to play in it who he can market. Because believe it or not, KBot's really good at marketing. He's super good at marketing. That's why he's KBot. But if the teams don't exist, then neither will the tournaments. And we've caught ourselves in a catch-22 as a community, where it feels like we want tournaments to exist, but we don't have teams to play in the tournaments. So the TOs don't want to run the tournaments, and the teams don't want to exist to play in the tournaments. Well, in theory, we could make a tournament and hope teams sign up, which is a waste a lot of resources, or 4 players could just say, you know what, fuck it, we're a team, and then commission someone for a logo for $20 on Twitter, and bam, you're a team now. And then you play for more than a month, and then as a TO, I go, oh look, there are teams. I need to make a tournament for these teams. It's literally that easy.
The problem with that is you have to like strike a balancing act. So like we could make a tournament, and it's risky, and in hopes that teams will be formed. Or we can just wait for teams to be made, but they're being made without knowing that there's a tournament going on. So I think, I look at something like Ludi or Super Jump when it comes to something like this. Ludi makes teams because now the people have like a reason to stick with a certain group of people and grind with them. But as soon as Ludi's over, they go away. and Super Jump made a lot of teams. Like Super Jump had a lot of Popcorn talked about this, so I don't want to like steal his thunder, but Super Jump had a lot of teams be brought back. Then they just kind of went back into hiding after the event ended. So I feel like if we do make tournaments for like mid-level or high level, they will show up. Maybe it'll take a little bit of time. I don't know. It's just risky. As a TO, it's hard to it's hard to be inspired to make a tournament or motivated to make a new tournament knowing that maybe teams won't show up for it. It's just really hard to be motivated for something like that.
So, yeah. Basically, I'm going to quickly summarize this because of what I wrote in the doc. Viewers, to me, as a TO, are much more important than teams.
Yeah, that's
it.
Another thing it comes down to, I want to add, is money. I mean, I'm not going to hide it. IPL makes this is going to be the segue. IPL makes money off Twitch mainly. So, I mean, now apparently you can see how much money we've made. It's never been a secret. We pay our server bills, and our money also goes into prize pools. That's how Super Jumps happened. So, it does help us as a tournament org if we have viewers that are a little more invested to our channel. I guess that does go to our next topic. I guess we want to touch on this a little bit. That Twitch did get hacked. So, did we actually want to like what were we gonna talk about?
This is one of those PSA. Twitch got mega hacked. All of your passwords have been exposed. If you haven't already, change your passwords. Put two-factor authentication on. Like, do that. Ooh, yeah. Talk about tournament branding.
Tournament branding. Didn't we just kind of do that?
A little, but we can.
I did with Lowink. I will always say Lowink has probably one of the most. I really don't like saying Lowink has like the best branding because
no, it's a fact.
That's so pretentious though.
It's a fact though.
But like everyone knows Lowink. I think I would assume who doesn't know Lowink.
JPEG, your tournament gets more than 100 teams consistently. Everyone knows who Lowink is.
Okay, no, chill. We average about 70 now.
That's such a drop.
That's such a drop, right? Okay. I think, yeah, it's something like Ludi or Tassel that really gets the viewers.
So yeah, to kind of talk about K-Bot's point, branding tournaments is also really important because, for example, there are tournaments they come and go a lot, and this is one of the things that IPL is, I personally believe, has done a good job. Is we've kept our anchor series the same. We haven't touched them. So our two anchor series being SOS, which is actually going to be running in roughly an hour, and then we have Low Ink. Now, JPEG, you might be able to tell me this. Last month we didn't run a Low Ink because of Super Jump.
Sure.
How long was the streak of running a Low Ink every single month before that? Do you know offhand?
That is a Hoenn Hero question.
That's a Hoenn Hero question?
It's been more than 2 years. Which is why I kind of didn't want to. But, like, also running a Low Ink next to Super Jump would suck. But, like, you just gotta get over it. Break the streak. That sucks, but whatever. We're running a major. That's cooler.
So, and yeah. So this, to all you aspiring TOs out there who probably, it's really, really important that you run consistently and a lot. Well, not a lot, consistently.
Don't run a lot, please.
Don't run a lot, please. Please.
Can I change topic?
Go for it.
I should have added this. Okay. I have to like be really careful because this is like leak territory. So
yes.
IPL is kind of the big org, which kind of makes me sick to my stomach a little bit. Because a lot has happened in a year. And we get a lot of insider info. So I'm gonna get on the soapbox and just say it. I should probably make a tweet for this too. Tournament oversaturation is going to come back in the next few months. So be a little careful. I also hate saying it because IPL is doing a lot of projects.
We are responsible
we're
for
not
a lot of that.
helping. we're not helping, and that sucks. But also,
My contribution was getting rid
we're
of testing grounds.
that's true, and also our I can't say too much, but our tournaments are going to help the lack of teams that are above low level.
Yeah. So
Am I
basically,
saying
right
too
now,
much?
IPL has we have a lot of things in the pipeline. We have a lot of things in the pipeline. That being said, we're not going to tell you about any of them, but they're really
No.
fucking cool.
They're so early. Like, why do we have to keep it secret? Because they're so early, and we don't even know if these are gonna happen or not.
Yeah, like if you guys had any idea how many things have fallen through in terms of IPL running tournaments, honestly, it'd be hilarious.
um, I'll give. I'll say this. We name okay in early production of tournaments. We just call them like tournament number. So for High Ink, was tournament 5 because we didn't want to like announce it yet, so we just called it tournament 5, so people didn't like see the name. And we're on tournament 11. Now that sounds like a lot, but tournament 7, 8. What happened to 9? What I'm getting at is most of these tournaments never existed.
I think 9 was the I think 9 was the pre Super Jump thing that we were playing.
No, that was 8.
Was
Tournament
that
10 was Super Jump.
Yeah, no,
Tournament
Tournament
8
10 was
was-
Super Jump. And I thought we made
What
Super
was
Jump
9?
because yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, the important thing
Uh,
is we've made things that just don't happen. So
And
like
never existed.
yeah.
Also, fun fact, for things where IPL mainly does production, we don't do a lot of organization for it. We go into the negative numbers. We're currently well, actually, we probably can't give that one away because
I don't want to. This is
Yeah.
this is something we shouldn't get into yet.
Yeah,
No, this is like announcing
yeah,
others or secret projects.
Yeah. No, I thought better of myself.
I want to leak IPL stuff by accident, not
Yeah, I
other
wanna-
stuff.
Dude, I want to just like say so much stuff because it's all so exciting. But as soon as I say it, then there's going to be the expectation, and I don't want to have expectations to meet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah.
So, anyways, topic at hand: tournament oversaturation is likely coming back. So, be on your toes. Support your favorite tournament organizers because
They're gonna need
they
it.
like what they're doing. They need it. Yeah, they need the support. I feel like such a bad person saying this, but like when tournament oversaturation last happened with like all the low level tournaments, I didn't feel good saying this, but I think I don't remember when I said this, but I was like, you guys should support your favorite tournament organizers because there's not much they can do about like other tournaments just running over their slots. So just keep supporting the people you like. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Like also, like there's also the problem of oversaturation with people just don't know some tournaments exist. With tying back into
Right.
the original tournament branding thing, if nobody knows your tournament exists, then no one can plan it. Like that's one of the
Right.
things where working with IPL is such a huge privilege, especially for someone like me who really wants to try to do a lot of things. That I have that platform where when I announce something, I know people are going to see it because I have the privilege of working with IPL, with someone who has established ourselves over the past year and change as someone who runs quality tournaments.
I don't totally weird just tangent, but like I don't like being the big org. I like IPO was made like just over a month ago. No, not a month, a year and a month ago. And like I feel like we've come such a long way, but now people have such big expectations for us.
Oh yeah,
So,
the expectations.
That's just kind of
like.
that's just been on my mind for like a really long time now.
Well, yeah. So I'm an evil mastermind. Fun fact.
Yeah.
So I'm
Fun fact.
I love being not love. I
Yeah, you do.
enjoy being
Yeah.
the large organization because it gives me a lot of room to organize things.
That's because internally, Raze is now, well, now that Testing Grounds is gone, internally Raze is now the major guy. But now there's no more major being planned, so
So now I get to move on to other secret projects.
you are, yeah, you're doing something quite
I'm
important,
doing
actually.
2 different things, kind of.
Yeah, you're doing something pretty important, though. I'm not. My secret project's just kind of a
For fun.
cool
Yeah,
thing.
it's cool. Dude, it's... I almost accidentally leaked it.
Don't.
Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be bad, but also it'd be really annoying if people knew.
Oh, yeah, no, it would just be annoying. Yeah,
I
had to catch my tongue there.
I'm actually like, yeah, I can't. I won't be able to yet.
Yeah.
It's just not planned out far enough where I can start talking about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm the evil mastermind in the room a lot for IPL stuff. So, I enjoy having the ability to throw a little bit of weight around because it's really useful when I can just go, hey, I would like to run on this weekend. Can I please run on this weekend with the puppy dog eyes? And things will move. It's really nice, especially for my schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel bad for our production staff. I feel so bad for them. There's like, what, 4 of them? Like
There's-
the main, like, A team?
Well, there's 1.5 that can actually make stream overlays, and now the person's got to make a lot of overlays
Yeah, so, like,
if these projects happen.
true.
I want to learn how to make overlays, and I was like, show me how to do it. Just give me a brief rundown. And they were like, this is very hard. And I looked at the code, and yeah. I mean, it's not impossible. I am a pretty good coder, but like, yeah.
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 So, yeah, if you do want to help us behind the scenes, us being IPL, the thing that we're not this podcast is not affiliated with in any way whatsoever, go, what is it, IPL Labs,
hold on, post the link.
.inc/work.
Because we're not affiliated with IPL right now.
Yeah, we're not affiliated with IPL. Smile.
Give us, yeah, you do the link, not me. Not affiliated with your butt either, K-Bot.
See, little do you guys know, the reason that we're doing this on my channel is because we couldn't get it okayed on the IPL channel. That's just a lie. That's a lie, by the way. That's a joke.
That is such a lie.
But yeah.
We have been wanting to make an IPL podcast, but like also like the amount of hot takes we'd have that we just kind of don't want thrown at the org as a whole.
Well, yeah, because like
it's just not cool. That's why we're doing it here.
Yeah, because my yelling viewers are more important than teams. I feel like that's a little too hot for an official IPL broadcast, but I have no problem saying it on my own Twitch channel.
We don't need to be saying, "Hey, watch our stream," because reasons on the
IPL stream 2 hours before SOS. Yeah, that. Well, and also we came up with this time slot literally like yesterday.
Because we're very busy all weekend.
Well, yeah, we're very busy. We're also we just do things occasionally. Like,
yeah. I don't even know if this is gonna like be a thing, but you know.
Oh, this is just gonna be the hey JPEG. You want to rant about some things for an hour and a half?
Heck yeah.
Cause yeah.
We had 2 more topics. What do we want to jump into?
I feel like the middle one's not like super relevant. I kind of want to do the bottom one though, because we can tie that into Super Jump.
This was like I don't even know much about this, so you're gonna have to help me out because this was like just announced. Yeah.
So yeah, fun fact. If any of you, which none of you probably are in the Smash.gg, like their official Discord, they just announced that
org landing pages are going into beta testing. So, Smash.gg in the past has had this really bad problem of using Splatoon tournaments to test things on. Because when SAC was in Season 0, back when I still helped on it, when I created it, they used us to test league pages. that I don't know where those ever went. And then most recently for Super Jump, they just announced and published the team registration system. Fun fact, that's why we had so many issues with some teams, because they either got registered twice because Smash GG systems work, or they couldn't register altogether because they had like accidentally cloned the teams. Yeah. So, but now they just recently announced that org landing pages are going to exist, and I think that's really big. And I kind of wanted to touch on that because that's one of the things where I personally, as a platform, I like the tools that Smash GG provides as an organizer. But one of my greatest gripes for them was that there was no place for me to organize all of my tournaments as an organization. There was no way for me to like build my resume, essentially build rapport. Where Battlefy you could, which was really, really crucial because you could follow an organization and then be like notified of all of their tournaments. So like if you followed IPL, you would know when the next Low Ink is, when the next Reef Rushdown is, when the next SOS is, next King of the Castle, stuff like that. So the fact that Smash GG in the past 2 months has announced org landing pages and added a team feature, like JPEG has his independent JPEG's Bad Ideas tournament. So, like...
Oh, boy.
I might honestly look to do something
We
similar.
just talked about tournament oversaturation.
Nah, but, like, a Thursday night, like, 4-team
We're
round
stooping
robin
down to
on
Thursday.
Smash GG. Like,
I saw a Monday night tournament. Am I allowed to talk about this? No, I'm not. But the point is, who wants to run a tournament on Monday? We're coming down to that level.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I also just want to... I think, personally, I'd love to test more Smash GG features because I think the platform is really... It's starting to get much better for teams, and I think if it ever gets to a point where it's better or as good as Battlefy on, like, the player end, I personally think it would be one of those where I would want to switch to that, like, right then. Because, like...
IPL is not... I'm just getting this out of the way. IPL is not switching to Smash GG full-time.
Again, this is where we clash. This is not affiliated at all, and this is just Ray's opinion.
Yep.
Where
I would like to mention...
Go.
This is just a unfortunate, like, Smash GG moment, but my former team, Assault and Pepper, like, one of the teammates took 30 minutes to get registered just because Smash GG's UI is so bad. Like, I want to like them. From an organization standpoint, the TOing side of Smash GG is amazing when it's functional.
True.
Big asterisk. But, like,
Asterisk.
the player end is just not good, like, at all. So, you know, once they figure that part out, I think we're going to be cool and good. And maybe we can ditch Battlefy. I like Battlefy, but, you know, maybe Smash GG will become better eventually.
I mean, for me, it's just a pain because I find, especially leading into a tournament, like a lot of tournament preparation stuff is really, really hard because they, for some reason, decide to put everything on the same page that you can't middle click on anything to open it in a new tab.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, straight up, if Battlefy just let me middle click on things, I would never leave. I would be great. But I can't. Because they just add longer and longer and longer, like, slugs to the URL. So it's like, yep, you're going to this, and this. It's like, but I would like to middle click, please. No. So by the end of the tournament, I have to open 10 independent Battlefy pages, move them all to different parts of the website. And like, it's like basically I have to make a choose your own adventure novel, but for Battlefy. And trust me, it's not as fun as a choose your own adventure. It's just not. Because then it's like, well, I want to find this team, so I have to go to this page, and then this page, and then from this page I gotta go here. Oh, I went one too far. Gotta close this tab now because I can't go back. Like,
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing Loing for like 2 years now, so like I
Oh,
just
yeah.
instinctually know what you can and cannot click on now. So
Oh yeah, no, like Battlefight is still a good platform. Don't get me wrong, but like
Wait, does it
given the
crash?
opportunity where Smash GG got better for like teams or like players in general, I would move in a heartbeat because
And
I just find the TOing tools, or well, when they work, to
when they
be
work.
much better.
And to add some good news to this, IPL does have like ties with Smash GG's developers, and we have been giving them very valuable feedback. So hopefully they actually implement it. I think they will. I mean, we just did the biggest stress test for Splatoon tournaments in recent memory,
Mhm.
considering they just added the new teams feature. So I think every bug is probably fixed now. I bet. I don't know.
Hope well.
I think we
It's
found every
noted.
bug.
It's
Yeah,
noted.
it's noted.
A lot of bugs have been reported. Fixes are pending.
A lot of bugs.
A lot of fixes are pending.
Yeah.
So.
Alright.
Do we have anything else we want to rant or talk about?
Not right now. I mean, I will. It's the Splatoon community. We'll have something in an hour, but I don't think we should wait an hour. So,
Quick, check Twitter.
quick check Twitter. Wiggly Phantoms playing. Wait, that's not Wiggly Phantoms. Oh, come on, guys. More pickups. God, you were just here.
We just told you guys about that.
Nice. All right. Yeah, like I said, check Twitter. All right. I guess we could cap it off. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes is plenty long.
Yep.
This was episode 0. This sucked. I'm gonna say it. This sucked. We're gonna get better because I think content creation is awesome. I have been. I was just watching like Chara, and I'm just like, dude, content's cool. We need more of this. I like watching competitive players like make stuff. This is cool. So I'm glad we could at least make some crap podcast to talk about the TOing side of stuff. And I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think we do. We plug links and I click the stop streaming button. Or actually,
Wait.
We could try to raid somebody.
Is IPL live? No, we're not live. Why
There's
would we
no
be live?
shot IPL is live.
No.
No shot.
Yeah, no one I follow is streaming Splatoon. Probably because Swimmer Sing's coming up.
Let me see if anyone I'm following is live.
I'm also gonna follow you.
Roth is
just
streaming. Nice.
Nice.
Why did the sound effect play?
Don't ask
Because I
questions.
know the visual isn't playing because I purposely turned it off. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, let's do links and then we'll. Actually, I'll start the raid and we'll raid Rafa.
Cool. Thank you for watching. We don't know when we're doing another one of these. I guess this will just be a very casual, just whenever it happens type deal. So
Yeah, it'll be like Talk Speed Up, where it technically
Sure.
exists, but they don't do it very often.
that's not shade. They're very good at what they do.
Oh no, that's not shit at all. That's just me telling the truth.
Okay. Okay.
It's fine. I know K-Bot.
You
So
do know.
yeah, follow me and JPEG on Twitter. JPEG upload low ink. I'm at Ray Splat. I'm gonna shamelessly plug myself. If you want coaching from myself, I'm at metafy.gg/@RaySplat. Finger guns. I promise I'm better at coaching than I am at doing a podcast. Also,
true.
I'll be more prepared for it. So, anything else you want to plug, JPEG?
Blank is this month.
Play low ink.
All right.
So, thank you all for watching. We'll probably do another one of these in the future. We'll probably prepare more for it, and we'll probably announce it more than a day in advance. That being said, good night, everybody.
Good luck in SOS.